It's the Tantrum Show.
Can we do that again?
No.
It's a bit snug for
Cozy. I'll just sit on Baz.
no bands remote and no beer spillage. Right, okay. Right, I'll just get cracking and just ask a whole load of stupid questions. You can give me a whole load of stupid answers if you want, but we'll see
We
how we
only
go
do
from
stupid
there,
answers.
okay?
Yeah, that's the only kind we have.
Okay, hi, it's Rob from Scotland Rocks Radio, and I'm delighted to say we're at live and loud at the Banshee Labyrinth with the new Tantrum. Guys, welcome to the Labyrinth.
Cheers, Thank you.
It's great to have you here. It's great to see some of you again, and that I'm not meaning it's not great to see others of you again. But the brand new Luke Tantrum, which is incredible. Really looking forward to hearing you guys playing live tonight. Okay, you've been up to a hell of a lot recently. The last time I saw you, Mark, was at Wildfire.
Aye.
And you were handing me a whole load of merch at the back of your car for free, which I was really happy with. I was skipping down the road with all this merch in my hand back to the tent before I must have thought somebody was going to steal it, but there you go. So it's great seeing you there. Tell me, or tell our listeners, what you've been up to since then.
Since Wildfire? Well, nobody knew at the time, but Stu had already left at that point in time. So Wildfire was the last time Stu and Billy played with us, and since then we've gotten Chris. And Mike has shifted from bass to guitar, because that's what he does anyway, and Chris has come in to play bass instead of guitar, and Ollie's coming in to play drums instead of guitar.
Yeah, so we've got a couch full of guitarists. Or should I say multi-instrument?
Aye.
I can't even say it. How do you say it?
Multi-instrumentalists.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, absolutely.
We're just mentalists. Just shorten it up.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, and I don't like dwelling on it, but I knew about Billy's departure. You know, he had announced that before Wildfire, and so everybody was kind of ready for that. What I wasn't ready for was Stu's announcements. I found that to be really coming out of the blue.
We didn't expect it.
Right, okay.
We only found that out maybe one or two rehearsals before Wildfire.
Right.
I
think it was the last rehearsal before.
It was the middle of a rehearsal.
And
we'd done the first half.
Yeah, and it just he wasn't feeling metal anymore, and obviously we'd been writing a lot of stuff for the album that's to come out after this one, and it was kind of, I think it was going in a direction that Stu wasn't entirely keen on. Stu's a real bluesy rock player, and the newer stuff's getting a bit more hard edged. You know, if your heart's not in it, it's the best thing to do, and you hold your hands up and you leave, and there's no animosity. You know, it's worse that people hang around and they drag other people down.
It's way better to make your exit while everybody's still friends.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. The timing
you don't want bad blood.
Timing kind of blew me away though, because you just released a new album.
I know.
You know, you see,
the album wasn't even out yet when Stu said I'm going.
Yeah. So you're on the cusp of releasing a brand new album, right? An album that is, I have to say, is an absolutely incredible album. Absolutely love it.
We like to think so too.
I was lucky enough to listen to it before it was released, because you were sending me copies of it when I think I was on holiday at the time, and I was listening to it on holiday and going, wow, every track I was listening to, I was thinking, that's better than the last one. It was just getting better and better all the time. Really, it's a superb album, but what a strange time to leave a band when you've just poured your heart and soul into a new album.
My best guess is that he probably figured, like, you know, if he didn't do it then, he wasn't going to be able to bring himself to later.
Okay.
And
it's better to go out in the high as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because then you can kind of look back on it a bit better rather than be like, oh, so glad that's done. You can be like, oh, you know, this was a really good time.
We definitely not seen the last of Stu. He's talking about releasing a project, and really wish him all the best.
There's already been murmurings on his Facebook page of new stuff in the works, so I don't think it'll be long.
Well, that's amazing. We wish him all the very best. Wish him nothing but success for the future.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
it's good that it's been done, and you're all still talking to each other, and that's great. So Stu leaves, and you get a whole group of new guys in. Should I say a group of highly talented new guys in? I mean, I've been to see Ollie's other band, Eldvarg. What a band they are! Make a year with umpteen other bands.
72.
Yeah, well, the last count, he probably joined another one who was upstairs earlier on.
I got to start hiding so people stop hiring me.
and I mean, your guitar playing, I'm going to focus on that a wee bit. I'm trying not to embarrass you while I'm doing it, but so the Guillotines did a gig here fairly recently, and we recorded it live, and I had the great pleasure of sitting at home and isolating all the tracks and listening in to each track individually as I was doing my very best as a novice
Hunter.
mixing it, and I couldn't believe how good. I don't take this the wrong way, but how good a guitarist you are. I mean, the stuff. I think a lot of time in the Guillotines, when you're playing it kind of fades into the background. Actually, it's not out in the front as much as it should be.
In the Guillotines, part of it is it's it's a big band and there's a lot of stuff going on, especially for a punk band. And we've got Davey there on the horns and on the Davey Snakes. Yeah. And he takes up a lot of real estate, both physically and sonically, and emotionally and mentally. Yeah.
And for people sitting at home, Mike is getting rather red in the face.
He's got a wee bit pink. He's got a wee bit pink. So we'll probably off that. But honestly,
I'll be honest. See, when he said he was going to move from bass to guitar, my first thought was shit, because I loved what he was doing in the bass.
Yeah.
And obviously, whatever he wants to do, that's fine with us. But I was like, damn, man, totally want that to happen. And then I heard him play. It's like, okay.
I always knew.
Yeah, it was actually Baz's urging that I moved to guitar. Because I was actually thinking of staying on bass to start with, because I was having a lot of fun with bass, and I was like, oh, it'll be harder to find a good bass player than it will be to find a good guitar player. Because, generally speaking, good bass players are already in 8 bands.
But yet you found a great bass player,
exactly.
We have indeed.
Exactly. Well, tell us, Chris, is it? Chris?
That's me, yes.
Chris,
indeed, yes.
Tell us about what's it like to be a tantrum.
And
a tantrum.
I've been a tantrum for about 3 weeks. I'm still or maybe 4 weeks or so. I still don't really consider myself a bass player yet, though. So we'll see how it goes tonight, and you tell me afterwards if I'm doing your bass lines any justice. No, it's good. It's exciting. It's a whole new frequency range to play with. So interesting times. Going from guitar to unfound territory.
He's a great songwriter as well.
Really?
Oh, aye.
Well, that's the thing. But I mean, I'll come on to that in a wee second. But I just want to move now on to Ollie, who is obviously frontman with Eldvarg. Well,
you're all half,
I know
he's going over.
You're old news, man. You're old news.
I'm so hard.
You're a veteran of the band now.
I know. I've only been that year.
Well, obviously, last time I saw you was up front for Eldvarg playing at Bannerman's. What a night that was, and I think was that you? Was that Eldvarg's debut?
That was the absolute debut, yeah. Since then we've played one more in Glasgow, so we're at number 3 tonight. So it's been going really well, it's been great fun.
So now you find yourself going from the front of the stage right to the back of the stage. How is it? How is it for you, kind of thing?
It's good. It's completely different. I mean, drums was technically the first instrument I picked up when I was maybe like 13 or something like that, and it was one of these things I couldn't do it, obviously. I was terrible at it, and I went, that's not for me, and then just left it for a while, and then, over time ended up just kind of doodling in the house and whatever else. So when Billy left, I was speaking to Micah about it, and it was kind of like, I kind of feel like I want to play rocky metally drums again, and this kind of all the timings and everything and the style and everything worked out. So went in for a jam 6-7 weeks ago.
Because you were at Wildfire, weren't you?
Yeah, I saw you guys at Wildfire. I mean, I'd seen Tantrum kind of online and seen you live a couple of times before, and it was really good. And then
it was actually the day that I went up to Mark and I was like, Alden plays drums. And the look on his face was just like pure steaming.
How do we manipulate him into
it? Exactly. Didn't take much.
Yeah. No, it's been really good. So, like I said, it's been kind of like 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that we've been in jamming, and then I skived off to Spain for 3 weeks.
Got back last night?
Yeah, literally got back last night. So we've got Eldvarg on first, and then an hour or so break and dry the sweat off and add on to it with the drums of sweat drums. Drum sweat.
Drum sweat, yes.
Just a sweating drumming mess.
A lot of sweat, but no, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it's really good. Yeah. It's good fun songs to play, but there's also kind of room in there to kind of add my sort of stuff in there as well. Whilst kind of maintaining the feel of what's already there. So absolute blast. Cannot wait to play.
So the new look is now together and ready to play. We'll talk a wee bit about the album then. Remind our listeners about the new album. What's it called, Mark? Come on, tell me.
Called Another Life.
Yeah.
It was out on 28th of July.
Yeah. And what's the response to the album been like?
It's been really positive. We were kind of hesitant at first because it's not like a complete departure from Melt It Down, but it's definitely very different from Melt It Down. So we thought, are people going to like it? Are they going to think, I've really stuck with what they were doing? But we've not had any complaints yet, unless they've just not said anything.
Initially, we were unsure of even releasing it under the same name, just given the fact that it is such a different band.
Yeah. And so, for the benefit of our listeners, it is an absolutely cracking album. I strongly recommend you listen to it and better still go and buy it. And I take it that they can buy it from Bandcamp?
Bandcamp, get it from our store. I'm pretty sure you can buy it on Amazon as well.
Right.
What's our website? Tantrum.
Tantrum.rocks.
Tantrum.rocks. I love that.
We do. .rock.
And you've kind of hinted throughout this interview so far that there's probably another album in the
there certainly is
in the making.
Baz and I wrote enough for the third album when Another Life was being mixed.
Right.
And it's fucking good, isn't it?
Yeah, because we were kind of like Stu was a real perfectionist when it came to getting the mix right, and it would take him a long time, and so we're kind of in stasis.
There was a lot of time where we really didn't have a heck of a lot to do otherwise, because we were just getting ready for the couple of gigs, and Stu was busy mixing the album and doing a bunch of different revisions, so these two guys got busy. I was busy doing all my other shit.
I was off spring Easter holidays for school because I'm a teacher, so I had 2-3 weeks and I just spent it up in my wee recording loft firing ideas back. Like with Mark and I, it's like quite good because there's no ego involved with writing. We'll go, can you change that bit here? What if we made that bit go on a bit longer? That bit needs a chorus. It's pure boring without a chorus. And then like we kind of, we've even done that with one of the songs on Another Life, Silence on Another Life. But when you get that kind of, it's like lightning in a bottle. You don't really get that much as a songwriter. Well, I've never had it often as a songwriter where I've found a good person I can collaborate with. I've always tended to, I don't know if you're the same, like bring ideas to the fold myself and go, right, this is the finished thing, now tweak it, whereas we're kind of like tinkering around under the hood before we even record it and stuff now. So lots of cool stuff in the pipeline, put it that way.
Great.
It's like 13 or 14 songs, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. And that's not including stuff that's being added onto the pile currently.
Yeah, like
with
Chris
the
has
rest of us in the
brought
mix.
stuff forward and like that's sounding.
That's what we're going to come to now. So you've got a band now full of songwriters.
Yeah.
It's quite incredible, because most of the bands we speak to, more often than not, there's one principal songwriter.
Yeah.
Someone will come up with a riff, and then it'll just evolve from there. But they'll be the one that drives it, and there's not an awful lot of collaboration with a lot of the bands that we talk to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you now, all contributing towards the songwriting process. You two guys sound like there's no ego involved. Are there any other egos in the band?
Not at all.
No.
None.
I've got to ask the question.
Well, I don't know. You guys haven't been in it long enough.
You've not been in the band long enough to get an ego.
I don't see it.
Nah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
No time for that.
We don't do egos.
No.
Nah, I can't be bothered with that.
You wouldn't put up with it.
No.
Why?
You wouldn't?
No.
Why have an ego? Like, it's not like we're pure selling out stadiums or anything like that. If you've got an ego just now, that translates to
an issue.
You're a prick. And if you're a prick, you're not in this band very long.
There's one of the other big groups that I work with where we've got a rule when we're doing songwriting sessions, which is humor me and then call me a cunt.
Fair enough.
You just see it out and see where this thread goes, and then if it doesn't work, it didn't work. You go back to the original.
So you never know, do you?
Exactly. You got to try ideas, and somebody might say something, you're like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, and then it works.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the stops in Hellion?
Yeah.
There was a lot of pushback at first. Like where it sort of like the phrasing changes halfway through the stops in Hellion. It was difficult to get that to work, to happen. They weren't dead against it, but they would rather stick with what they were doing. But I think you've got to try everything. If it turns out to be crap, then at least you've tried it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try it anyway.
Absolutely.
You can say with absolute certainty it sucks.
At least now you know that it sucks.
So new lineup, new band, another album in the making.
Maybe even a double.
Anyway,
I would like that.
Yeah.
Or just more albums through the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're thinking about, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we're thinking about
How do you do the strategy of it?
do we do EPs or do we? I like LPs personally. I like a full length album, but the way music is now, it's all about constant fucking content.
Well, that's why bands do EPs, isn't it? I mean, because they'll bring out an EP, it'll maybe have 3-4 tracks on it, and then slowly, over a period of maybe, I don't know, 16 weeks or whatever, they'll release a track from that EP every month. You know, it just keeps them in the public eye. It keeps them, you know, and that's
keep on to
really the way. That's really the only reason to do it. You know, EP wise.
We're planning a Christmas EP.
Oh, we are. All right, that sounds interesting.
We've talked about that.
Christmas with Tantrum. I can see you all standing around the log fire with the Valdunican. With the big woolly jumpers on and standing at the piano, giving it, you know.
Bowie and Bing. But that was the plan. Was like when we did like Sweatshop Santa last year, our Christmas kind of single. It was like
which was brilliant.
Like
excellent.
Obviously.
Loved it.
This year, we're thinking like one of our singles, the first single of the album, we might rework into some kind of festive thing.
Right, okay.
But we've also been kind of toying with the idea of like making the EP like each of us picks a cover of a band that we really want to do.
Little Christmas present from us.
Yeah,
that would be a good
and
one.
like
I like that. Yeah.
so we're planning on maybe doing that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that'll be a smorgasbord of influences right
ABBA.
there. Eh?
ABBA.
Just all ABBA.
ABBA. You got that backwards. No, but so we're maybe thinking of get that out and donate proceeds to a charity. I think for Christmas time. So,
great idea.
but it'd just be
Bit of fun
to do as well.
Yeah, bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while I've got you guys here, I'd love to thank you a lot actually for promoting this gig, because you've probably been one of the most active bands that we've ever asked to play at the Live and Loud sessions to actually promote the gig. I mean, you've done some great stuff in terms of the stuff you've done on social media, but these incredible Tantrum swag bags. Tell me about these.
I can't tell you
Tell us about
This is going to go out after the show, so you know, at least a couple of weeks after the show.
No, but you didn't buy a ticket, so you kind of get a swag bag.
One of them's got a golden ticket.
Right.
And the person who gets the golden ticket can come up to us and get a special one-off version of the album that's got a whole new artwork for tonight. What else is in it? There's a signed Big 10. There's the Melted Down CD, because we've got lots of them. There's stickers, there's badges, there's, oh my god, what else is there? You stuffed them.
Scratch card.
Scratch card, yeah, special scratch card for tonight.
You could win drinks with us. How lucky would you be?
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember what else is in it. Oh, air freshener.
Oh yeah, there's a car air
But
freshener,
it's an allergy-free air freshener. The world's first ever allergen-free air freshener. Because it's got no scent. I ran out of time.
I thought you were planning on someone to try to eat it or something. There you go.
It's just it's got no scent. So you can hang it up in your car forever.
I've got a can of deodorant in the bag. No?
This smells like Lynx Africa.
Lynx Africa.
Everything smells of Lynx.
It's a can of Lynx.
But no, seriously though, we can't thank you enough for what you've done in terms of promoting.
Well, you guys have been really good for us.
No, thank you. We do try our best, and you know that we like your music and that we love your music, and it's never.
I love when you get me up in the morning.
Oh, pardon.
Steady on.
Mrs. Taylor, I've not been anywhere near him.
Never seen this man in my life.
But no, it's superb. So, what have you got? Have you got anything else in the pipeline, gig-wise, coming up anytime soon? Or tell us what you've got, and tell the people out there where they can see you live.
Well, the immediate one is a kind of like a mini tour in October with Tailgunner, who I believe were at Wildfire the night before we played. I don't know if you caught them.
They really are rather good.
Yeah, young upstarts from down south. But we played with them last year, and you know they've asked us back to do some dates in Newcastle, and then it's Edinburgh,
Glasgow's the last.
and then Glasgow's the last night, which I'm looking forward to. Hometown gig for me, so
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one.
And it's
Audio's a
looking-
great venue.
Audio's a great venue. It's looking like
I
it's going
am
to be busy as
so
well.
pissed off that I'm not going to be there. I've got tickets for me and the missus. I've got tickets for somebody else that night.
Oh,
I'm
man.
so gutted.
Oh, Richard or something like that.
You
I'll be at the Edinburgh gig,
Yeah.
and I'm probably going to go to the Glasgow gig as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. Quite an interesting lineup actually. You guys, you've got Tail Gunner, you've got Wildfire from the Borders, a nice bunch of guys,
Yeah.
and Oath,
That's-
which is another ex-Tantrum guy, isn't it? They
Two
keep popping up.
ex-Tantrums,
Oh,
yeah,
two is
Richie's joined on
them
bass,
now.
yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
cool. So yeah, that should
That'll
be an
be an
interesting
interesting
lineup. So you've got that. What else have you got coming up? Anything you can tell us about?
There's gigs in November, December, January, and April.
Right.
And we're doing the after party. What's the after party we're doing?
That's for
Fall
the
Brawl. Fall Brawl, yes.
Red Crest Fall Brawl in November.
Where is it?
That's at Nice
11th
and
of
Sleazy,
November.
I believe.
Yeah.
Nice and sleazy, yeah.
Cool.
We go on at midnight. Is that right? Is that
Something
Really?
like
The
midnight,
after-
1 o'clock in the morning, or something
After
like that.
show party, and
We're the strippers.
who's the organizer of that again?
Yeah, it's Duncan, yeah, Red Cross.
Duncan's-
Yeah, Duncan's kind of said,
Oh,
no,
Red Cross, right? Okay.
yeah, the crowd will be probably hammered at that point. I'm like, okay, cool.
Nice
I would
and
say
seasoned.
probably out and replace it with definitely.
Yes.
Mhm.
They will be well seasoned.
It's a long time to wait though to go on, isn't it? If you're doing a midnight stint at an after show party.
I'll just
So,
turn off
You guys are playing early, aren't you?
Yeah, because Eldvarg playing.
What
that
time
one
are you
as well.
on it?
2, 3, something like that, probably. So it's a fair.
So that's plenty of time to go get dinner, then come back.
Yes.
Have a
we'll be
snooze.
fine. Yeah, that's the main part.
So lots of gigs in the pipeline, so people can see you just about everywhere over the next few months. Is there anything else that you need to tell us about, or is there anything you can tell us about? Because I know you've always got something up your sleeve.
Well, we've got the video and the single officially releasing next Friday,
Right.
and that's the official release. Tonight's like the early bird release.
And is the video a video, or, is it a lyric video, or is it
No,
a
it's a
video
video.
with actually you guys in it?
We're in it, and there's a lot of it makes a statement.
Okay, alright,
It's a statement video.
right.
I mean, the song itself makes a statement. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
that's,
tied it
that's
up.
what it's about.
Tied it up with the kind of lyrical themes of
Yeah.
the song Another
Yes.
Life, and it's just like very pertinent to what your normal everyday person is going through compared to the pricks that are
You're talking
making all
about
the
fat
money.
cats.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Great, can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
If it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, I'll punch you until it does.
Okay.
Now there's the map we know.
Can't wait to see it, and we can't wait to see you guys playing live tonight. So listen, thank you very much for agreeing to do this gig. I just can't wait to see the new Tantrum. Yeah, we wish you all the very, very best for the future. And good luck tonight. I'm sure you're going to blow the roof off, if indeed there is a roof on this place.
I don't know.
Not when we're done.
But once again, guys, thanks very much.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, Robert. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's the Tantrum Show. Can we do that again? No.